Hello, passionate Celtic FC fans. This is Celtic Central News, your exclusive source for Celtic updates. Before we kick off, we appreciate the incredible support. If you love Celtic, subscribe now, hit like, and let's build this community together. Now, onto the latest news. A warm welcome to new subscribers. Your support is crucial. Hail, hail! Ladies and gents, gather round because there's a storm brewing in Scottish football, and it's wearing green and white. Word on the street, and I mean proper heavy rumours floating a boot from Parkhead to Princes Street, is that Aaron Ramsey, the Welsh maestro himself, is on the brink of signing with Celtic. Now, before you lose your minds, let's just take a moment and appreciate the gravity of this. We're talking about a lad who strutted his stuff in the Premier League, the Serie A, and at one point was considered one of the best midfielders to come out of the UK in the last decade. Imagine that, eh? Aaron Ramsey orchestrating the midfield in front of the Green Brigade. Gives you goosebumps just thinking about it. So let's unpack this, break it down, and see what this really means for the hoops and for Scottish football in general. First things first, Ramsey's name is still one that carries weight. Despite a spell at Juventus that didn't quite live up to expectations, the man's pedigree can't be denied. He's got over 70 caps for Wales, a handful of major international tournaments under his belt, and let's not forget he was a stalwart at Arsenal for over a decade, a midfield engine full of creativity, and with that knack for popping up with a goal when you least expect it. Now, I can some of you might be thinking, he's past it, or is his fitness up to the challenge of the Scottish Premiership? But hear me out. Players like Ramsey didn't lose their class. Form is temporary. Class is permanent. And if he's motivated, if he's healthy, and if he buys into what Brendan Rodgers is building at Celtic Park, this could be a match made in football heaven. No, if this rumor turns out to be true, and trust me, there's plenty buzzing insiders hinting it's close, then this move isn't just a coup for Celtic, it's a statement. A real shot across the Boutay Rangers and the rest of the league. Celtic are already sitting top of the table, but bringing in a player of Ramsey's caliber says, we're not just here to win, we're here to dominate. It shows ambition, it shows intent, and most importantly, it raises the bar for the entire league. This isn't just a boot one team. When a name like Ramsey rocks up in Scotland, eyes from England, Europe, and beyond start paying attention. Suddenly, folk who'd usually sneer at Scottish football are asking, wait, what's happening up there? That's the kind of ripple effect a signing like this can create. Let's talk tactics, shall we? Picture this. McGregor holding it steady in a deeper role, O'Reilly buzzing between the lines, and Ramsey sitting in the sweet spot, spraying passes, driving forward, and bringing that Premier League sharpness to the final third. He could be the perfect link between midfield and attack. He's always had an eye for a killer pass, and his movement and when fit is top tier. And there's that question of fitness again. But if Celtic can manage his minutes, give him the right rest, maybe even use him in bursts like Ange did with certain players last season, then he could thrive. The league's tempo is different from Italy or England, sure, but sometimes that works in favor of experienced heads like Ramsey's. He wouldn't be expected to run the whole show every week, but rather to show up in the big moments and deliver when it counts. Let's not forget the psychological lift this gives to the dressing room. Imagine being a young lad coming through the ranks of Lennoxtown, looking across the pitch and seeing Aaron Ramsey pulling on the same shirt as you. That's massive. That's inspiration on a whole new level. And for the senior players, already there, it's a shot of adrenaline. Competition for places goes up. The standard in training gets sharper, and everyone knows they need to be on their toes. Ramsey's experience, having played in some of the biggest stadiums against the best in the world, that can't be underestimated. He brings leadership, composure, and a certain swagger that could be infectious. And that, my friends, could be the edge that helps Celtic not only win the league again, but actually go deeper in Europe, where experience really counts. Now, let's not kid ourselves. This move, if it happens, will raise eyebrows across the city. You better believe Rangers fans will be watching this like hawks. They'll be wondering if their board is going to respond, if they'll need to match the ambition that Celtic are showing. It adds fuel to the fire ahead of the next Old Firm clash. Can you imagine Ramsey stepping out at Ibrox, maybe even bagging a goal? The script writes itself. This kind of transfer injects drama, passion, and raw excitement into the rivalry. And while some might scoff and call it hype, I say this is what we live for. The theater of it, the build-up, the potential for moments that become legend. And when Ramsey's involved, you know there's always a chance for something special. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. Let's also be real about what this means financially. Celtic aren't splashing ridiculous sums like English sides, so any deal for Ramsey would need to be smart. A short-term contract, a pay-as-you-play structure, maybe even a symbolic wage cut to come back closer to home and prove he's still got it. These are all things being whispered in the background. And if Ramsey himself is open to that, it speaks volumes about his mentality. It tells us he's not here for a payday. He's here because he wants to play, to compete, and maybe even leave a legacy in Scottish football. And if there's one thing the Celtic faithful reward, it's graft. If he gives everything in that shirt, he'll be adored. Simple as that. And let's not forget the international angle. Wales are always hovering on the edge of qualification for major tournaments, and Ramsey will ken that regular playing time, even in Scotland, could be the ticket to extending his international career. Page, the Welsh gaffer, will be watching closely. If Ramsey starts bossing games for Celtic, he could walk back into that squad, especially given the leadership vacuum post-Gareth Bale. So this move could serve multiple masters: club glory, personal redemption, and a national team comeback. Not a bad combo, eh? And you know what? It kind of makes sense when you step back and look at the full picture. All the pieces are there. All it takes is that signature on paper. In the end, folks, whether this rumor turns into a reality or fizzles out like so many before it, the mere fact that it's even been talked about shows how far the Scottish game has come. We're not just a stopgap league anymore. We're building something up here. Celtic leading the charge, aye, but the whole league rising with it. Ramsey coming to Celtic would be a blockbuster moment, no doubt. But it's also a symbol of ambition, or tradition meeting modern vision. And as fans, that's what we want to see. Big names, big games, big moments. So what do you reckon, troops? Is Ramsey the man to light up Parkhead once more? Will we see that signature flick, that late burst into the box, that famous celebration in front of packed Celtic Park? Or is this just another tale they keep us dreaming through the summer window? Time will tell. But for now, let the dream breathe. Aaron Ramsey in the hoops. Aye, I'd watch that. Hello, fan. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.